welcome to the Healthy Choices Kitchen. Today we're going to talk about breakfast, very important meal of the day. I'm going to make two easy recipes. One is a breakfast banana split. We're going to use banana and some other nice ingredients. And the other is a peanut butter and jelly granola bar with just 3 basic ingredients. So, breakfast is important for us because when we wake up in the morning, our body has been without any food, any source of fuel for our bodies for quite a while. So we want to get some good healthy foods to help with our physical activity and our mental activity through the day. And breakfast is a great opportunity to get healthy foods where we can get the nutrients that we need, the fiber that we need, the calcium that we need. So it can get us off to a great start. Also, it can be very simple. You don't have to think that breakfast is something so hard to do. I think it's really, of all the meals, the simplest to make. Okay. Let's get started with our breakfast banana split. Some very basic ingredients. A banana. Just going to peel the banana. I'm going to cut it into pieces, or into quarters, really. So this is going to make 2 servings. Just going to cut my banana in half. And then I'm going to cut it in half again the long way. Put that in my bowl and do it again. There we go. Next, I'm going to add some yogurt to it. Now, when you're planning your breakfast, it's really a good idea to try to include foods from different food groups. So for our banana split, we're going to have fruit, we're going to have some dairy, and we're going to have some whole grains. If you can include whole grains, that's another boost for your health. You're going to get fiber and good vitamins from those whole grains. So that's all going to be in our breakfast banana split. So we have our bananas. And as you can see, I've chosen Greek yogurt. This is just a plain Greek yogurt that I'm going to use. It doesn't have any sweeteners in it. The Greek yogurt is a good source of protein. And if you can include some protein in your breakfast, that's a bonus. When you include protein and some fats in your breakfast, it's going to help you keep feeling full a little bit better through the day, or at least till that next meal or snack. So I'm just going to split this in half, put my yogurt here. Now, you have to be careful because some yogurts can be loaded with sugar. There's natural sugar in yogurts, but then there's what we call added sugars. And those added sugars are just plain sugar that has been added. You're not getting any nutrient value from those added sugars. From the natural sugars in the fruits, because they're in the fruit, you're getting all the benefits that the fruit have, the vitamins and the fiber and other things. So that's going to be, here's our yogurt. Just want to show you, I have another yogurt. It's a great source of calcium. Yogurt is a good source of calcium. But if I look on the back, there's always a spot on the label now where it tells how many added sugars are in the product. If you look at the label, come right down to carbohydrates, total sugars, which would include the sugars from the yogurt or the fruit, and then includes added sugars. That's the sugar like this, just white sugar that has been added. So in this, we have 13 grams of added sugars. A whole tablespoon of sugar has been added to this yogurt. Here, we haven't added any sugar. So keep that in mind. The next thing we're going to add to our banana split is some cereal. Here again, choose a whole grain cereal. I've chosen Cheerios, one of my favorite cereals. It's whole grain. It has a little bit of added sugar, just 2 grams, half a teaspoon of added sugar. So I'm going to split that. This is going to be a nice hearty serving. And then I'm going to add a little bit more fruit. Now here you have a lot of flexibility on what you want to add. You can add fresh fruit, you can add frozen fruit, you can add canned fruit. So I'm just doing a combination of some canned fruit. I've cut up a little bit of canned pineapple. Here again, I'm not adding a lot, but again, I have different colored fruits, and so we're going to get different antioxidants. Just going to sprinkle that on. And I'll tell you, I was going to add some blueberries. I went to the grocery store. The blueberries were a ridiculous price this week. So I went to the frozen fruit section. I bought some frozen fruit, and that's what I'm going to add. So I'm just going to add a few frozen strawberries to it. You don't have to add 2 different kinds of fruit if you just have the one, or whatever you want. You could use canned peaches, fresh peaches, apple chunks, whatever is good for you. So, okay, there's our breakfast banana split, loaded with banana, Greek yogurt, whole grain Cheerios, and some wonderful canned and frozen fruit. So you're going to get all that in one delicious mouthful. You're going to get some of the banana, some of the yogurt, some of the strawberry. It's really good. When you have the fruit, that gives the sweetness. You really don't need yogurt that has added sugar to it. If you feel like you do need a little bit more sweetness, you could put just a little dribble of honey if you wanted to, but really not necessary. That's a good breakfast. Cereal can be part of a really good breakfast, but you have to choose your cereals carefully. As I mentioned, look for whole grain cereals, look for cereals that are high in fiber, and look for cereals that are low in sugar. And don't be deceived by the marketing of the cereals. Here's another Cheerio product. Oat Crunch. I think this is new. I just found this at the pantry. Sounds good. Going to get whole grains from this. That's a good thing. We're going to get vitamins and minerals. That's a good thing. We're going to get some fiber from that. A little bit. Not as much as from regular Cheerios, though. But let's look at the sugar. 15 grams of added sugar. That's for a 1-cup serving. So here's our serving, our 1 cup of this cereal. There's our 1 cup. This is how much sugar is in that 1 cup of cereal. So that's a lot of unnecessary sugar that's just going to give you extra calories. So be careful when you choose your cereal. The next recipe I'm going to make is just 1, 2, 3, 4 ingredients, and they're very basic ingredients. I'm going to make peanut butter and jelly granola bars. I'm going to get started heating them. Okay. So I'm going to put my peanut butter and some jelly, and I've already put some hot water into the pan, and mix those together. So I have half a cup of peanut butter. Peanut butter is a nice food to include in breakfast. It's not one that we often think of having for breakfast, but it's got good protein and it's got some fat. So those are 2 things that are going to help, again, as I mentioned, keep you full. We have our peanut butter. And then I'm going to add some jelly to it. So this I'm using some grape jelly. The total recipe, I use half a cup of jelly. I'm splitting that in half. Half of it gets mixed in here. And this is going to make a sauce for our oatmeal. And I'm just going to stir this. You can see it looks like kind of a big glop. But I'm just going to stir it until it gets nice and smooth. I have to turn that down just a little bit. And then I'm going to be mixing that in with the oatmeal. Now, oats, again, they're another great option for breakfast. They are whole grain. They're a healthy kind of fiber. They're soluble fiber, which actually can help reduce cholesterol if you eat it on a regular basis. And might be a little confusing sometimes. You'll see different kinds of oatmeal in that this is called quick oats. Maybe you'll see rolled oats or old-fashioned oats. The recipe that I'm making, which you can find on our website, calls for rolled oats. That just means they're a little firmer. It all has to do with the way the oats are processed. When the oats are processed, they're rolled and they're steamed. The quick oats are just rolled and steamed a little bit longer than the quick oats are rolled and steamed a little bit longer than the rolled oats. So they cook a little bit quicker because they absorb the moisture of the water that you're cooking them in a little bit faster. But either one will do. I didn't have the old-fashioned or the rolled oats for this, so I'm using the quick oats, and it works just fine and comes out really delicious. So this is just about mixed up. All I was doing was just getting that peanut butter melted. So it's like a sauce that we've made. So I'm going to add that to my bowl and mix this in. Now, you do want to be careful with jelly also, because jelly does contain a lot of sugar. So if you're putting it on a piece of toast, something like that, you don't want to put this much jelly on. That's way too much. So again, if you're using jelly, portion it. Use a realistic portion. A tablespoon is, again, about a tablespoon of jelly includes about a tablespoon of sugar. So it's mostly sugar. So use your jelly sparingly. In fact, a better option, really, than instead of jelly on toast, if that's how you use it, is consider putting peanut butter on the toast instead, or hummus, something that's going to give you protein. In this recipe, we're going to get a little bit of jelly in each serving, but not a lot. So this is just going to get mixed up in here. Now, the easiest way to do this is really with your hands. So I'm just going to get my hands in there. It's nice and sticky and gooey. And this is just going to get spread into our pan then. I just want all of the oats to be coated with the mixture. Now, if for some reason you don't want to eat peanut butter, if you have allergies or don't like it, you could also substitute another nut butter with this. So, just going to rinse my hand off. And now we'll put this in our pan. I'm using a 9 by 13 inch pan, which I have greased already. I used some butter to grease it. The recipe suggests using an 8 by 11 pan, but that's a pan that is kind of an unusual size. If you have that size, use that size, but it works in any size pan. This is a little bigger than that, so I'm going to cook it a little bit less. If you just have an 8-inch pan, cook it in an 8-inch pan, and you're going to have to cook it a little bit more. This is a very adaptable and forgiving recipe. So I'm just going to glop this in here. And then spread it out. This is my favorite way of spreading something like this out. I don't know if you've ever made Rice Krispie treats, but if you have, you know that you get them in the pan and they're kind of sticky and they all get stuck to your hand. This is kind of the same thing. So this is a piece of wax paper that I put some butter on, and that way this just doesn't stick to it, and I can push it out and want to push it all the way to the edges. Then this is going to go into the oven, and it's going to cook for about, 20, 25 minutes. You're going to know it's done when you start to see brown, crispy edges around it. So, almost there. So there again, this is like a granola bar. It's going to be a little different than ones you might buy. It might be a little more crumbly. But there again, sometimes those granola bars, they make them sound so healthy when you read the description, but often they have a lot of added sugar as well. So make sure you check the ingredients and the nutrition facts label if you're eating those. Okay, so this is going to give us protein. It's going to give us whole grains. It's going to keep us feeling full for a while. So I'm going to take now the rest of my jelly. This is my other quarter cup jelly. And I'm just going to put it here, and it's spread it out over the top. You could use any kind of jelly. This is grape, but you could use whatever you like. So if you think about it, a lot of the foods that we eat for breakfast also can be good snacks through the day. The banana split that we made, that could be a good after-school snack. A granola bar is a nice pick-me-up snack through the day. Even a piece of whole wheat toast with a little peanut butter is a good snack. Yogurt with some fruit or some nuts. Those are all nice breakfast choices, but also, nice options. And as I said, the beauty of a lot of the breakfast options are that they're really quick to put together. So if you think you don't have time to make breakfast, think again, because there really are just some easy options. A bowl of nice whole grain cereal with milk and some fruit, again, gives you your whole grains, some dairy, and some fruit, and you've got a nice complete breakfast. A lot of the cereals are also fortified with vitamins, so it's a great opportunity to get vitamins and fiber into your diet. This just goes into the oven. I'll put it in. This is what they'll look like when they come out. You do need to let them sit in the pan for a little while to cool, and they are, you can see that they're a little bit soft, but they're just a really nice hearty snack. Taste the peanut butter, you get the oatmeal, and not too sweet. I did keep them in the refrigerator, which I think is the best place to store them, but really nice. You get a touch of that sweetness with the jelly. So again, this would be something you could make ahead, then have something you could grab it in the morning. So that's our recipes for breakfast this morning. Remember, give yourself the opportunity every morning to start your day off healthy with a good, healthy breakfast. Include whole grains, include fiber, include fruit, include dairy, and you're off to a good start for your day.